And we're back live. So we just had Emma on. The Solana Seeker is a great piece, but central to the success of the Solana Seeker is the hardware wallet that lives within that. And we're joined today by Filip, co-CEO of Solflare, who actually designed that. So first of all, congratulations on the Seedbot wallet.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We're proud we're not sponsors. We're proud partners of Solana Mobile. We think they're doing a great job, and we're happy to be part of that story.
Yeah. So Filip, let's get cracking. The most exciting thing coming from Solflare at the moment, you've done so well in the software wallet world. Solflare is the wallet of choice for much of the Solana ecosystem, but you're expanding. You're going out of that software world and you're stepping into hardware. What do you have for us today?
So today, and I just announced it on stage, is basically our hardware wallet, and I'm very excited about this one because we've been building wallets for 5 years now, and we've seen it all. And we've seen the progression of both software wallets and hardware wallets and where they're going. And we think that there's a huge gap that currently isn't being served. Hardware wallets have just one primary job, and that is to keep your keys in an offline chip. And when you sign transactions, don't expose them. Yeah. Today's hardware wallets, though, have expanded far beyond that job, because they want to support many software wallets and on many chains. And some of these software wallets just aren't as advanced as, for example, Solflare. They don't have transaction simulations, Solflare guards, constant threat monitoring, and hardware wallet companies stepped in to fix that. But they fixed that in a way that an offline chip became a whole device. So all of a sudden you see all the competitors, which I won't name, but they have screens, they have cables, they have Bluetooth, they have batteries, and they're not truly portable. I mean, live
unboxing.
This is truly portable. So this fits in your wallet, the physical wallet. This fits in your back pocket, everywhere. And if you look at hardware wallet companies today, like the number one marketed benefit for them today is clear sign. Something that Solflare users get by default, just because they have a good software wallet, underlying software wallet it works with. So all of the screens, the whole device is basically unnecessary waste, unnecessary complexity, which we stripped away. So again, it's an offline chip of the highest security standards. So it's an EL6 plus certified chip. That's even a higher security standard than ledgers. Okay. When it comes to these things. And the UX is much better because you don't have to connect it with cables with Bluetooth. You just tap it to your back of your phone and sign transactions. And it comes at an affordable price. So this starts at $49.
What? Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, because there are many people out there who are basically shut out from their safe crypto journey before they can even begin, because they need to pay $150, $200 just to start. And we think that that's completely missing the point. So we think that this is a hardware wallet that is basically available to everyone, while they're not compromising on security and UX.
So we're almost going back to that original ethos of accessibility and democratization, making sure that anyone with an internet connection can keep their keys secure.
Yes.
Can I just get a look at this very quickly?
Yeah, of course.
What I find magnificent about this is that it's so thin, right? Because
it's a credit card.
Yeah, it's a credit card. Like this is deceptively thin. I was expecting a hardware wallet. The word itself evokes images of like heavy duty, thick piece. So that's very elegant. That's
I need to take a look at that. Yeah. Oh, that is great. So I like so much about what you said. So first of all, Solana native. You guys are one of the OG wallets that came out, and you have stuck just to Solana, right? So you've dealt with all the problems throughout Solana, right? So you've been there through the thick of it, and there's never been a good Solana native hardware wallet, right? Like it's always been clunky. Like you said, there's always cables. Like if you were to give that to anybody that hasn't used one before, it takes a long time to get used to that. And I'm still not even used to it all the time. So something like this, I see this and I'm like, hey, this is something that like I could give to my grandma and she could probably sign a transaction.
Oh, that's the grandma test. It would pass the grandma test.
It's the grandma friend.
It's the mom test on steroids, but yes, it should be as simple as you just explained.
So what is the workflow? If I open up Solflare, I go to an aggregator, I hit my swap. does it then invite me to tap my shield?
Yes.
Okay.
So it just, instead of swiping to complete the transaction, it just asks you to tap the back of your phone. As soon as you tap it, it signs the transactions, and that's it. You're secure, while being nearly as fast as swiping.
Perfect. So the hardware wallet game is a very difficult world to broach into, because hardware wallets have been around for almost every decade now. A lot of your competitors, again, we won't name names, but they've had 10 years to build their brand, to build that trust, to refine all their processes to make sure that they have the most robust wallets possible. How hard is it to break into that market and then give the Solana community something that is natively exclusive to them?
So I would just explain that statement, because they had 10 years to build something that is more complex than it ever needed to be. So if the underlying software wallet is very advanced, very secure, they didn't need to become so complex as they are right now. So all of that, I would say, head start that they have is for nothing when it comes to security. And that's a huge point. The other thing is all hardware wallets rely on the underlying software wallet. So the underlying software wallet actually is the one that actually provides you the base security, and then the hardware wallet is the one on top that actually tops it all off and makes it like a complete secure experience. So us being a software wallet with very rigorous security standards actually gives us more trust and brand equity when it comes to safety of our users than some of these hardware wallet companies. Of course, we are a new player in the hardware wallet game, so we still have to be established. But this is also why we basically gave away every Breakpoint attendee a free shield, because we wanted to put the wallet in the hands of users.
Yeah.
They just need to experience how much better this is than what the current experiences are. And I'm 100% sure that this will just be like the kickstart of something big.
So less is more, ultimately.
Less is more.
The older wallets, they've got all these bells and whistles that are perhaps inflating and bloating the product. And what people really need is just a simple way to open transaction, sign. That's it.
Exactly. When it comes to hardware wallets, they need to be as simple as possible, because the simpler they are, the more secure they are. And we've seen this with competitors that I won't name that have backdoors and firmware updates, this and that, everything that can go wrong. Because at some point they're going to connect to the internet, and then it's not as secure as it should be. This never connects. It's an offline chip. It's one and done, basically.
And so I imagine as part of that, there is no recovery aspect that is managed by Solflare in the ways that others have done. We separate your seed phrase into 3 different parts and store it elsewhere.
No,
you're going full self-custody.
Full self-custody. That's our ethos, is self-custody, and we want to make self-custody as easy, as accessible as possible. And we also have to educate users about self-custody. And that's also why you're also here, and you're doing a great job at that, because it's just like it's such a quite novel concept for the masses, because they're used to someone else holding your funds, having control, and we just need to allow people to have the experience. They don't need to ask for permission. They just need to confirm whatever they want to do. And that's such a powerful feeling.
It's one of the core tenets of crypto, right?
It is.
Hold your own keys, hold your own crypto, right?
For me, this is crypto.
Yeah.
For me, this is crypto. Like, crypto is self-custody.
Yeah. I have a question for you. So with this is going to be used on mobile mostly, right? Or is it desktop as well? Like how talk to me about like how you see the actual usage of this, because I saw the video in there and it's like you basically just tap it on the back of your phone as it goes. It looks super slick, but
so it's mobile first for now. You can it's possible to buy a card reader, so you can put it in and use it on desktop. But again, for us, this would also again defeat the purpose of no cables.
Adding cables
to it. So what we want to do is basically we want to as soon as you're on desktop, we want to sign a transaction,
Yeah.
it actually prompts your mobile
Oh, okay.
to
Yeah.
sign the transaction.
That's right.
So you want to do something on web, all of a sudden you see a pop-up on your mobile screen, you just tap it, you sign a transaction, and you move on. So
Right,
that's
right.
that's the idea.
Yeah, and I have a question for you. So when do you recommend using a hardware wallet? Like when I was first getting into crypto, it was like, hey, if you're signing a transaction over $1,000, you owe it to yourself to have a hardware wallet. Like just add a little bit of extra protection. What do you see that? Like I haven't heard that in years. What's like your general recommendation for that? Like I used a Ledger, way too many times because of that idea, and I hate Ledger because of that. It's very hard to use. It's clunky. Like I did so many extra steps for so long. Like what's your kind of like broad advice on that?
So honestly, before this, I used hardware wallets in the sense that they were my vault.
Yeah.
So my cold storage wallet, which didn't connect to any sites anywhere. And whenever I needed to do something that had more transactions, I would just transfer it to a hot wallet. Yeah. Because it was just gruesome to click through all the transactions and everything else. It just takes a long time. Like it didn't make sense. Now this gets a little bit flipped because it's so much easier, I use this now even when swapping. So now I'm swapping.
Really? So you're just kind of used to that flow now, to where it's like it's second nature now. It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. So you just, I mean, it depends on if you're like a really heavy mobile user or a desktop user.
Yeah.
For example, I'm a heavy mobile user. I do everything on mobile.
Yeah.
For me, this is way better. So desktop is a little bit different.
100%. I want to zoom out of the hardware angle and look at Solflare more broadly. It's become kind of table stakes among many wallets to branch out and explore as many chains as you can and hit a TAM that is perpetually larger than just what we're dealing with within Solana. Solflare, to your credit, you have rejected that idea. You've doubled down on Solana. Everywhere I look at this venue is Solflare yellow. You've got a team of 50 people here. You sponsor all the main events. You're huge outside, within the Solana ecosystem. You're the first to support upcoming teams and do sponsorships and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so hyper-fixated, so confident that Solana is going to continue to be the place to be for the years to come?
Because we have a deep conviction that 90% of all valuable things that will be built in crypto will be built on Solana. And it's easy for us to reject the remaining 10% because of that, if we can focus on the 90% that are actually valuable. And we see like Solana is, at this point, the only chain that can onboard hundreds of millions of users. And again, it's much better to focus on one chain. Again, not introduce complexity of other chains and just go deep instead of go broad.
Yeah, I 100% agree, especially as we're seeing like more assets that people are going to want to hold for more. With stocks coming on chain, they're going to be holding more value on chain, and we've seen the growth of those, so it's like you're going to want a hardware wallet to secure those.
I mean, stocks are a great example.
Yeah, right?
Stocks more, I mean, eventually all assets will be on chain.
Yeah,
all assets will be on chain. Everything of value will be on chain.
Yeah.
I want to play devil's advocate on this idea that Solflare doubles down on Solana, and that's where you fully commit. This is the same thing that Ethereum people would have said 5 years ago. They would have said, look, there's no point branching out, there's no point going anywhere else because everything is going to happen on EVM. And they got complacent, and then Solana came and essentially cut the grass out from under them. Why could that thesis not be true for Solana on this occasion?
Because of two things. First one, the first one is of technical nature. So Solana is already so advanced, moves at such a high speed. Like with all the upgrades that will be coming now or in the next couple of weeks, Solana will be moving basically at the speed of light. So like Solana had an orders of magnitude better experience than ETH, and that's why it swept the rug under them. Not possible, because again, technically we are moving at the speed of light. So nobody can now be twice, 3 times as good as Solana anymore. That's a technical aspect of it. The other aspect of it is it's just the community, the sheer breadth of community and ecosystem. So it's has already so many apps, so many users, so many apps that are actually making money. That's so important because if someone has capital to actually develop further, then the whole ecosystem can thrive because all of them want to find new users, provide more value, and grow their company. And I think that this is a loop that just continues. It's a flywheel that propels the Solana ecosystem to new heights.
At a community level, as I said before, Solflare is really a part of it. You're the first to sponsor events at what is, I imagine, great cost to yourselves. Why are you so staunch on supporting Solana across the board?
Again, our focus is completely on Solana. So Breakpoint is our Super Bowl. Like Breakpoint is, we live for Breakpoint. So we started planning Breakpoint, I think it was in May this year. So what, 6 months in advance, 7 months in advance? We have 50 people here. So this is our time where we can actually meet with users, talk to them, and actually let them know, hey, these are actually nice people behind that product, which you can actually talk to and they'll listen to you. So we'll listen to you. If you have something great to say or any type of feedback, like we're here to listen and see if we can make that happen. So if we can improve your experience or everyone else's experience, we're totally here for that. So, and again, if Solana is doing well, then we're doing well as well. So this is why we're sponsoring all super team events, everything basically from Solana All-Stars, every community activated thing most likely gets sponsored by Solana. It's also our way of giving back because this is the ecosystem that has given us everything, and now we are. I think that we are morally obliged to actually give some of that back too.
Yeah, that's great. We love the focus on community. We can see it, you know. It's fantastic to see, and the way that you guys have done it is really good. And I mean, throughout the years, you guys have always been very responsive with anything. I think I reached out about an issue like a few years ago, and it got handled in like a second. And it was like, okay, like they are serious. They're focused on getting it right. And I see that coming through with the way that you guys built this. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to use it myself.
Yeah, today.
Vidor, your co-CEO, your co-founder, dropped a cryptic tweet about the secretest of secret projects. Can you give us any alpha or any indication of what that could be about?
It's magical.
It's magical.
Ooh. Yes. It's truly magical.
Well, I'm excited. If anything like this, then that's good. The bar is set pretty high.
This is like a standalone product. His announcement is more of a, not a what, but it's a how we use wallets.
Okay.
So we're trying to redefine how people are using wallets. Let's just put it as it's something that we're working on for a long time, and we're happy to drop the alpha version at least.
One kind of broad overview from you. What is Solflare most excited for in 2026 on Solana?
I would say the proliferation of DeFi.
Yeah.
So we believe like DeFi is so good at the moment, at least for me.
It's
so
never been better.
Yeah, it's getting better and better. For example, I mean, we're in the Solana ecosystem for 5 years. I stopped selling my soul 2 years ago because I just stake it. That stake is basically that LSD is a collateral. I just borrow against it for a lower interest rate. So I'm getting 6.5% on my stake. I borrow it for 2.5%. So I get money to spend at a negative interest rate. So that's a concept that is...
It does bother me. You tell that to your bank and they're going to say, no.
It breaks people's minds. So I think this is a great thing. And especially now, like after so many years, I think that we're finally getting to a point where we can confidently say that all of these DeFi protocols are battle tested. So they had billions of dollars in the deposits. Nothing happened for a long time. And nothing will happen because they're so rigorous also about security. So I think DeFi will be a big thing. And I think prediction markets.
Prediction market is a big one. Yeah. And to your point about, we've shown how battle tested and robust these things are. We had 10, $19 billion liquidated in a single day. DeFi handled that pretty well. You know,
Yes.
very, very little, if not zero, bad debt. So we're
Yeah.
proving that the system works, and now it's just time to scale the system.
Yeah, exactly, and bring it actually to more users, make it even more accessible. Because right now, like the thing that I mentioned, it isn't actually so easy to pull off if you're an inexperienced user. So what we want to do is basically strip all those complexities away and make it hopefully like a 1 or 2 click action to go from I have Sol to create an LSD, deposit as a collateral, borrow against it, and then pay with your Solflare card, for example. So we want this to be as easy as possible. So I think DeFi is we're going to see like a huge I would say uptake in Solana DeFi. And again, prediction markets, like we've had NFTs first, then we have tokens. Now people can put value behind opinions, and everybody has an opinion, you know.
Yeah.
So that's also something that will be like a strong focus for us in the next year.
Amazing. DeFi and prediction markets. Well, Philip, it's been great having you on. I'm so excited to get my hands on one of these. Thank you so much for being here. Well, that was Philip from Solflare. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on SolanaFloor.
Thank you.
Thanks, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay. Go good.